안녕하세요, 터미입니다. Let's have fun learning Korean. Today's grammar is first, 의리을 수밖에 없다. Have no choice but to do something, to be expected to be. Second, 의리을 정도로, to the extent that. And third, 의리을 지경이다. To the point of, on the verge of. After you learn today's grammar, you will be able to use expressions such as 전진할 수밖에 없다. There is no choice but to move forward. Wow, that's what the general in the military would say, right? Let's learn these expressions to fire people up and pass topic level 4 and be a super master of intermediate Korean. 그럼 시작할게요. The first grammar, 의리을 수밖에 없다 means have no choice but to do something, be expected to be a, or no wonder. You can emphasize one available action you can take at the moment. If you have only one choice, then you could be a little bit desperate, right? In this kind of situation, you use this grammar. For verbs and adjectives, you use 의리을 수밖에 없다. You will attach 리을 수밖에 없다 if a verb stem does not have a final consonant. For example, 가다, to go, does not have a final consonant. So you will attach 갈 수밖에 없다, have no choice but to go. And you attach 을 수밖에 없다 if a verb stem has a final consonant. For example, 먹다, to eat, does not have a final consonant. So you will attach 먹을 수밖에 없다, have no choice but to eat. For nouns, you use 일 수밖에 없다, regardless of a final consonant. Okay? Now, let's read an example sentence. 회의가 끝날 때까지 여기서 기다릴 수밖에 없어. There is no choice but to wait here until the meeting finishes. Here, 기다리다, to wait, is a verb that does not have a final consonant. So you add 리을 수밖에 없다 to make 기다릴 수밖에 없다. There is no choice but to wait. Then let's read the next sentence. 이번 일은 우리가 참을 수밖에 없잖아요. In this case, we have no choice but to put up with it, don't we? Wow, all you can do is to put up with this. It's not really good, right? Anyway, if we look at a sentence, 참다, to put up with, is a verb which has a final consonant. So you add 을 수밖에 없다 to make 참을 수밖에 없다, have no choice but to put up with it. Then let's read the next sentence. 아까 정해진 내용이니까 그 사람은 모를 수밖에 없어요. Because it has been decided just before now, it is no wonder he does not know about that. Here, 모르다, to not know, is a verb which does not have a final consonant. So you add 리을 수밖에 없다 to make 모를 수밖에 없다, meaning no wonder he does not know. Let's see the next example. 꼭 오늘일 수밖에 없는 특별한 이유라도 있나요? Is there any special reason why it has to be today? Yes, you wonder why it should be today, right? Here, 오늘, today is a noun. So you add 일 수밖에 없다 to make 오늘일 수밖에 없다. It has to be today. Quiz! Then let's deepen our understanding with some quizzes. Which one is the correct answer? 다 싫다고 하니까 내가 because everyone says they don't want to, I have no choice but to do that. Number 1, 할 수밖에 없어요. Number 2, 했을 수밖에 없어요. The correct answer is number 1. 하다, to do, is a verb which does not have a final consonant. So you add 리을 수밖에 없다 to make 할 수밖에 없다. And then you need to make it into your form, so it is 할 수밖에 없어요. No choice but to do something. Number 2 is wrong because it is in the past tense and does not match the English translation. Then let's read it thinking that there is no other choice. 다 싫다고 하니까 내가 할 수밖에 없어요. Please read this part at least 3 times. Then let's see the next quiz. 너는 어제 그렇게 술을 많이 먹었으니까 머리가 Because you drank beer that much yesterday, it is no wonder your head hurts. Number 1, 아프는 수밖에 없지. Number 2, 아플 수밖에 없지. The correct answer is number 2. Here, 아프다, to hurt, is an adjective which does not have a final consonant. So you add 리을 수밖에 없다 to make 아플 수밖에 없다. And then you have to make it into 반말. So it is going to be 아플 수밖에 없지. Number 1 is wrong because there is no expression like 아프는 수밖에 없어. It is always 리을 수밖에 없다. So please keep it in mind. Then let's read it together. 너는 어제 그렇게 술을 많이 먹었으니까 머리가 아플 수밖에 없지. Please read this part at least 3 times. Let's move on to the next grammar. 리을 정도로 means to the extent that. You can express the degree of an action or state. Here, 정도 means extent or how much. So you can also say 리을 정도이다. So that to end a sentence. This grammar follows verbs or adjectives. For the usage, if a verb or an adjective does not have a final consonant, you attach 리을 정도로. For example, 가다, to go, will become 갈 정도로, to the extent that I go. If a verb or an adjective has a final consonant, you attach 을 정도로. For example, 먹다, to eat, will become 먹을 정도로, to the extent that I eat. Now, let's read a sample sentence. 그동안 전화를 한 번도 못할 정도로 바빴어요. Until now, were you busy to the extent you cannot call even once? It sounds like a girlfriend who is upset with a boyfriend, right? Here, 못하다, to not be able to do, is a verb which does not have a final consonant. So you add 리을 정도로 to make 못할 정도로, to the extent you cannot do. Let's see the next example. 오늘은 밖에 나가기 싫을 정도로 날씨가 더워. Today it is hot to the extent that I don't want to go out. Here, 나가기 싫다, don't want to go out, is an adjective which has a final consonant. So you add 을 정도로 to make 나가기 싫을 정도로, to the extent I don't want to go out. You can see how much this speaker does not want to go out because of the hot weather. In this case, you can express with 을 정도로. Okay? Then let's read the next sentence. 여긴 너무 유명해서 모르는 사람이 없을 정도야. This place is so famous that no one does not know of it. Here, 없다, there is no, is an adjective which has a final consonant. So you add 을 정도이다 to make 없을 정도이다. That's there is no one. Quiz! Then let's deepen our understanding with some quizzes. Which one is the correct answer? 그 친구는 사람들이 깜짝 노래를 잘 불러요. That guy sings very well to the extent that people would be amazed. Number 1, 놀랄 정도로. Number 2, 놀라는 정도로. The correct answer is number 1. 놀라다, to be surprised, is a verb which does not have a final consonant. So you add 리을 정도로 to make 놀랄 정도로, to the extent people would be surprised. Number 2 is wrong because 놀라는 정도로 is not the correct usage. You always use this grammar with 리을 정도로. So please keep it in mind. Then let's read it together. 그 친구는 사람들이 깜짝 놀랄 정도로 노래를 잘 불러요. Wow, I want to hear his song. Please read this part at least 3 times. Then let's look at the next quiz. 일감이 너무 많아서 지금 인원이면 there are so many jobs that the current manpower is short-handed. Number 1, 모자랄 정도예요. Number 2, 넘을 정도예요. The correct answer is number 1. 모자라다, to lack, is a verb which does not have a final consonant. So you add 리을 정도이다 to make 모자랄 정도이다. And then you have to make it into your form. So you change 이다 to 예요 to make 모자랄 정도예요 is short-handed. Number 2 is wrong because 넘다 means to exceed. It is the opposite of the translation. Okay? Then let's read it together. 일감이 너무 많아서 지금 인원이면 모자랄 정도예요. Please read this part at least 3 times. The last grammar, 리을 지경이다 means almost, to the point of, on the verge of. The meaning seems to be similar to the previous grammar, 리을 정도이다. However, there is a clear difference. That is, the meaning of 지경 has a negative connotation. You can use it to highlight an extreme situation. So you always use this grammar with negative verbs, which implies hardship, such as 쓰러지다, to fall over, 잃다, to lose, 죽다, to die, and 미치다, to go crazy. But don't be scared. I'm sure you can handle this grammar. For the usage, you attach 리을 지경이다 to a verb. If a verb stem does not have a final consonant, you attach 리을 지경이다. For example, 쓰러지다, to fall over, does not have a final consonant. So you attach 리을 지경이다 to make 쓰러질 지경이다, on the verge of falling over. If a verb stem has a final consonant, you attach 을 지경이다. For example, 잃다, to lose, has a final consonant. So you attach 을 지경이다 to make 이를 지경이다, on the verge of losing. Now, are you ready for negative sentences? But before using the grammar, I will show you how to use 지경 as a noun. Let's see it! 이 지경이 될 때까지 뭐 했니? What were you doing until it became this worst situation? Have you ever heard someone in a drama saying this? I'm sure you're going to hear it from now on. In this sentence, you can translate 이지경 as this worst situation. Korean people often use the expression too, so please memorize it. Now, let's read a sample sentence which expresses an extreme situation. 너무 많이 먹어서 배가 터질 지경이야. I ate so much that my stomach is going to explode. Oh no, your stomach is about to explode. Please stop eating. Through this sentence, you can see the speaker is highlighting how much he ate, okay? In this case, you use this grammar. Here, 터지다, to explode, is a verb which does not have a final consonant. So you add 리을 지경이다 to make 터질 지경이다 is going to explode. Let's read the next exaggerated sentence. 나 혼자 하니까 힘들어서 죽을 지경이에요. I do it all by myself, so it is so tough that I'm on the verge of death. Oh no, we should definitely help this person. We shouldn't let her die, right? Here, 죽다, to die, is a verb which has a final consonant. So you add 을 지경이다 to make 죽을 지경이다. So tough that I'm on the verge of death. Let's read the next sentence and check how the speaker is amplifying the situation. 어젯밤엔 누가 업어가도 모를 지경으로 깊이 잠들었어. Last night I slept so deep that I would have no idea even if someone gave me a piggy bag. Here, 모르다, to not know, is a verb which does not have a final consonant. So you add 리을 지경으로 to make 모를 지경으로 to the extent that I would have no idea. Quiz! Then let's deepen our understanding with some quizzes. Which one is the correct answer? 할 일이 많아서 진짜 there are too many things to do, so I am on the verge of getting crazy. Number 1, 미칠 지경이에요. Number 2, 미친 지경이에요. The correct answer is number 1. 미치다, to go crazy, is a verb which does not have a final consonant. So you add 리을 지경이다 to make 미칠 지경이다. And then you have to make it into your form. So you change 이다 to 이에요 to make 미칠 지경이에요, on the verge of getting crazy. Number 2 is wrong because there is no expression like 미친 지경이에요. It is always 리을 지경이다. Okay? So please keep it in mind. Then let's read it together. 할 일이 많아서 진짜 미칠 지경이에요. Please read this part at least 3 times with frustration. Then let's look at the next quiz. 사업이 잘 안 돼서 내일 모레 the business is not going well. So we are on the verge of immediate bankruptcy. Number 1, 파산할 지경이야. Number 2, 파산인 지경이야. The correct answer is number 1. 파산하다, to go bankrupt, is a verb which does not have a final consonant. So you add 리을 지경이다 to make 파산할 지경이다. And then you have to make it into your form. So it is going to be 파산할 지경이야, on the verge of bankruptcy. Oh no bankruptcy, please! Anyway, number 2 is wrong because it doesn't sound natural. So don't use it. Then let's read it together with disappointment. 사업이 잘 안 돼서 내일 모레 파산할 지경이야. Even though it is a sad sentence, don't forget to read this part at least 3 times. Alright, then it is your favorite time, homework! I will sing Permission to Dance by BTS just a little bit to cheer you up. Don't need to talk the talk, just walk that walk tonight. Cause we don't need permission to dance. Yes, this is such a nice song, right? As we don't need permission to dance, you guys also don't need permission to study Korean. Study as much as you want. Okay? Then homework! Come on in! There are 2 assignments. First of all, please make 3 sentences using the grammar we learned today. For the first sentence, please use 리을 수밖에 없다. There is no choice but to do something. For example, 중급 공부가 아무리 힘들어도 꾸준히 할 수밖에 없어요. No matter how hard studying intermediate Korean is, there is no choice but to do it consistently. Yes! Wow, such a hard sentence. I like that. For the second sentence, please use 리을 정도로, to the extent that, and tell me what you were surprised at. For example, 내 친구는 일본 사람이라고 생각이 안 들 정도로 한국어를 잘해요. My friend speaks Korean well to the extent that I don't feel like she's Japanese. Have you ever experienced this kind of situation? I had this kind of experience several times. For the third sentence, please use 리을 지경이다, almost on the verge of, and tell me something you are sick of. For example, 다이어트 초기에는 공복을 참을 수 없어서 미칠 지경이었어요. At the beginning of the diet, I couldn't put up with being hungry, so I almost went crazy. Oh no, you shouldn't go crazy, right? I am looking forward to seeing how imaginable you can be to make your sentences. The second homework is to memorize new words. Please memorize the 40 words from number 641 to number 680 on page 9 in the intermediate vocabulary list. There is a vocabulary quiz of 40 words on my website, so feel free to try it. The link is in the description box. That's it for today. You guys did a great job. High five! I really hope to see you guys one day and have a fun conversation in Korean. 그럼 오늘도 행복 가득, 웃음 가득한 하루 되세요. 한국어 파이팅 파이팅 파이팅!